Hey, 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 it's not Fat Albert, it's Yanni G and
Lady T.
And today we are doing something a little bit different in honor of Women's History Month. So we're going to split it up in a two-parter. First, if you, and you can comment below, let us know what you would think and you would pick. If you could be a superhero or supervillain or whoever that is already in a universe, which one would you be and why? Are you ready to go first?
Okay, sure.
All right. Who would you be? Not who your regular person would be, and not your superpower.
Okay.
Who would you be that already exists?
Storm from the X-Men.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Why?
Yes. Because I love her outfit, first of all. And she's such a bad bee. And with her white hair that's naturally textured every time it's drawn. She's so beautiful, powerful, sensitive, loving, empathetic, but bad A. Like, will show up and handle stuff. I love that she controls the winds and nature and brings the rain, literally. Like, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and she's the living, I mean, she's not living, I know she's not real, but like the living embodiment of bringing the storm. So that's who I would be.
Okay.
And I love that she's a vigilante. But I wouldn't be a vigilante in real life.
Fair. I think mine would be Catwoman. Yeah, because I like her outfits too. And I like that, like, the crimes that she commits is nothing, like, crazy. She's like a jewel thief. But whenever Batman needs someone on the inside to give him some intel, he calls Catwoman, and she might be like, oh, whatever, I don't want to help you. Because sometimes, I'll be honest, when I'm called to do things, I do that. I'm like, oh, are you sure? Like, are you sure I got to do this today with this person? But then I always end up doing it. And I also like that, you know, legends played her, like Eartha Kitt and Halle Berry. And apparently Lenny Kravitz's daughter Zoe Kravitz played her before. So I like that she was played by some of the greats, and some of, like, Eartha Kitt is a living legend. Like, let's be real. So I like that. And then I also like that, you know, she dated Bruce Wayne a few times. So he might be whatever, but she has a good choice, you know, because I love Batman. He's my favorite superhero man dude. So, you know, in general, I just like Catwoman because she's stealthy. She's very feminine. She's kind of feisty, because I have a kind of a feisty personality as well. Depends on what day you get me, who you're going to get. You know, she's very blunt. She's very honest, straightforward, straight shooter. I'm like that. And so, you know, and again, she just, like, the way you see her in the cartoon and this, she's always so elegant and just regal. And I think that's how I feel about cats. They're just such, especially black cats, they're such elegant, regal creatures, but they're also kind of funny. Like, I saw some videos and my siblings like, that's what made you want a cat? And they would come up and just like pop pop and hit people on the head or like knock something over. They're just so mischievous, and you can tell them. If you ask Mommy to describe me as a child in one word, it would probably be mischievous. And then, oh, she's so adorable would follow after that. And I think they can say I got away with a lot of mischief because of my charisma and all the other stuff. But I was quite a mischievous child. So I really like the whole aspect of, like, the black cat vibe. So I would be Catwoman. All right. Second part to this question. Now we're flipping it. And of course you can participate in the comments by letting us know who you would be. But the second part of this is, if you had to create your own character, so if you had to be a superhero, what would you do and what would be your mission? Lady T, are you ready?
Sure. Okay. I would have the ability to freeze time.
Oh, okay.
But I could still move. And during that time, my mission would be to slap the X out of people who needed it. Like, I would accept online story submissions, maybe have some online form. And after I verified that the people deserved it, I would go slap the mess out of them. And then when time unfroze, they would be like, oh my God, what happened? And then the other thing I would do, I would unmask just jerk people who get away with stuff. So I would also accept stories through a form. And, like, I would, like, put the evidence that was needed to get somebody in front of the person that's coming for them. Like if someone's been like harassing someone at work, for instance, I would put the footage somehow like on all the splash screens at the headquarters, something like that, just to get people off of people's backs. And then time would start moving again, and people would be like, and then they caught. So everyone who slips through the cracks
Would be.
jerks that make us have to walk on eggshells through the world, they will get got. Yes. And they will
Okay.
all have a red handprint on their face.
Okay.
Oh, and I would have to be able to run fast
Yeah.
to get everywhere.
Yeah. Well, there's this lady, I don't know where she's from, so I'm just going to say African continent because I'm not certain where. But there is a woman now who her business, they beat up bad people.
What?
Yeah. So, like, women will call and say, like, their husband put the paws on me, or somebody did something bad, and her
Wow.
her employees will track that guy down and attack him.
What?
Yeah, so I mean,
Okay,
someone
okay.
is doing something similar. They not stopping time,
Yeah.
but you know they doing it.
Wow. Okay,
So yeah, that
okay.
actually exists. I saw her in an interview, and I was like, man,
Oh, wow.
if the YNs on this side
Yeah.
of town catch on, I would hire them.
Yeah. Just kidding. We're just kidding. Yeah.
Right. But my power and stuff, my mission, I would be called the wealth transfer, because I would be able
Yes,
to take
girl.
people's wealth and transfer it over to others. So people that
yes.
I thought were, you know, doing bad stuff with their
Mm.
money and doing bad stuff, and you know, all the powers that were that just doing too much, I would just be able to think, okay, I would be able to like read and say, okay, this person, or what did they do to get to, were they on any of those islands, were they doing anything like this? And so then I would be able to be like, okay, now if I transfer their wealth over to this particular person, what would they do with it? And then I would determine, because just because people seem good now,
Yeah.
if you have power and money, the real you can come out.
Mhm.
So I would like have foresight as well and say, okay, if I took this person's money and put it here, what would they do with it? And so I would strategically take money from
That's
other
brilliant.
people and then transfer it over, and I would be called the wealth transfer.
Yes. And I will be praying for the success of the wealth transfer too.
Yes.
Was fun.
Yeah, that was cool. Did you have any other people or thoughts or things? I did.
No, and I agree with Catwoman too.
Yeah.
And just a little Gen X tidbit. Halle Berry did play Catwoman. It was such a drama at the time because she did not play the Marvel or DC character Catwoman.
What did she play?
Just a random movie. Somebody wrote a movie called Catwoman and she played it. So it was such a
Oh, I didn't know
scandal when
that.
it came out. Yeah, it was a big scandal.
I like it even more now.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And it's actually a good movie, I think.
Oh, this whole time I thought she was in the Batman
We
world.
should watch it.
Maybe, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next Hair Day. Let's watch it.
I'm not really a big movie person. That's why I reacted like that. But I will try. I prefer, just in case you guys are wondering, I'm more of a show.
Yeah.
Because I like, sometimes with movies, I feel like I still have more questions. I'd be wondering, like, well, what happens next? And then
Yeah.
you gotta wait years sometimes
Yeah.
to get part 2.
James Cameron.
So, yeah, even with shows, I will wait
Yeah.
until the season is over.
Yeah,
And then
that's
I'll
true.
binge watch everything
That's true.
because then I don't have to wait. I have a very impatient personality, which makes me a good entrepreneur,
Yeah.
but it makes me a bad waiter for things. So, you gotta know who you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would like to watch it, especially because there's no part 2. But
Yeah.
in general, if anybody asks me, do you want to watch the movie? My first is like,
Mhm.
probably not.
Yeah, you
but
do the recaps.
yeah,
usually.
yeah. Oh yeah, and I love recaps because then I can get the whole movie in 10 minutes. But I learned after I told my students that I had technically watched Wicked because I watched the recap, and then they proceeded to give me a test.
Oh.
And I didn't know any of the answers. They said, see, that's why you gotta watch the movie. But whatever, maybe one day. Anyway, I thought that was a great activity. So yeah, if you have any questions about hair care or any random topics, we can definitely get it popping. And I'm Yanni G, and this is
Lady T.
and together we are We Unique, because all of us are unique, and we are on a mission in this real life as the actual superheroes to remind you and everyone else that all hair is good hair, especially when it's healthy. All right, so for all your hair care needs, whether it's courses, questions, commentary, products, anything like that, you can visit us at weuniqueworld.com. The link will be in the description. Be sure to like this video, comment, hype it up, because that matters now, apparently. Subscribe, share, do all the things you know you should do at the end of a YouTube video, and we'll see you next week. Bye!